Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me here on my live. I'm Ilima and I talk about wellness and positivity. And I come on here once a week and just sort of touch base with all of you fabulous ladies. Um, one day I might be tagged or coined as the let it go lady because oftentimes I'm identifying that the struggles that I had in my life and I've had recently overcome have a lot to do with my inability to recognize and to let go of negative emotions. And so I often want to just come on here and I want to share that experience with all of you because I just know for a fact that that's also something each and every one of us deal with, right? The inability to recognize and to let go of those negative emotions that we have attached to our past memories and experiences. And from there, built up condition, we became conditioned and we created patterns in our life of how we make decisions, how we deal with relationships, how we view our own selves, how we appreciate or don't appreciate ourselves, and then therefore how the world doesn't appreciate us. Okay? And it's not an easy subject to untangle, but that's why I just kind of pop in here for a quick live and a check in with all of you. And I talk about one real pain point that many of us experience as professional women, and then one very simple easy to access hack or wellness tip. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to check here to make sure that um, I'm appearing here in my Facebook group. And I'm looking right now. And I'm there. Okay, super. Okay. Um, okay, there we go. So I'm making sure that you can hear me. I'm also going to put in here my Facebook group that I want all of you to have access to. You know, in my group, it's really just an incredible space for all of us wonderful women to sort of gather and pick up on some insights, provide your own insights to things that I post in there to just sort of kind of spark your thinking and your feeling around, your life and how you're navigating your life. And then I go on here live weekly to just touch upon those things. And at the end of my presentation here, I'm going to share a program, a phenomenal program that I'm introducing to all of you too. But if you're watching live, go ahead and put a hashtag live in the comments or a hashtag replay if you're going to watch it a little later. Give me your thoughts if anything in my presentation resonates. If there's a tip in there that you can't just keep to yourself, then go ahead and put it in the comments. Share my live with a friend who you think could benefit. It's not only something that you need to keep to yourself, but maybe this is something that will help someone else. So I'll begin here. If you don't know me, I'm Ilima Hong, and I talk about wellness and positivity. And I experienced for myself incredible transformation when I overcame a very stressful situation with my job. Something was pretty hasty. A decision was made, and I had no input into it, and I just had to take it. Okay, and you might have experienced the same thing. It does happen, right? We have a new supervisor or someone comes in with a different agenda. Even though you've put in years of your own time, space, dedication, money, and investment in making yourself and your skills, to have a contribution to your career and your profession, but someone can still make some changes and your path can take a turn. Okay? Now, when that happens to us, do you want to make a turn for the worst? Or are you able to find the beauty, I guess, on the new path, the beauty of the scenery that on the new path that you're on, okay, or that you've had to take? And so, I'm sorry, I'm just double checking that this is going on here. Um, very good. And so I talk about that. Now, when I endured that sudden change in my job and in my position, I, of course, I was upset. Of course, I had a reaction. Okay, but I had to come back around pretty quickly because, like many of you, you probably have people who are counting on you, right? I'm 52 years old. Oh, excuse me, I'm 53. I just turned 53 a couple weeks ago for my birthday. I'm 53 years old. I've been married 23 years, and I have two adult children. They're both in college. And so when something happens to mom, what does the family usually do, right? They get up in sort of a protective mode. At least that's my family. And they were searching for a solution, right, to my pain. And I had to double down, and I had to regroup myself, and I had to show my family that I was okay, right? That we will overcome this. And I had to use some activities that I found myself to be very, very beneficial. And they were wellness activities. And I got to the point where I created this sort of routine for myself, morning, during the day and at night. And it provided me with a newfound self-confidence and a belief, a very strong belief that everything was going to be okay, right? An acceptance to some extent that things happen around you and you have no control over. So I put all that together in a routine, and I call that my daily radiant routine. Okay, don't laugh. All right, but it is that. Um, and I just bring one or two activities to this live so that you can kind of see what that's all about. And then I give you my free 5-step guide for wellness in the comments, and you can go ahead and access that. But basically, what it is when you deal with something stressful like that, how much are you able to deal with that? Okay, and so I coined or titled my live today around what would life look like, right? When you feel understood, when you feel completely appreciated. We're all dealing with that, ladies. I mean, we come to a point in our life where maybe, like many of you, like me, your children are sort of out of the house already, not relying on you the way they used to, and your purpose and your tasks and your routines are a little different. Okay, and how do you adjust to that? Um, well, there's a lot of reflection that you might be going through. You might be looking to what things were like before, and then are you feeling this mature, years later into your career? Are you still feeling appreciated and understood, even in the workplace? Are you feeling appreciated and understood in your household, right? Are you the queen of that universe? Okay. And if you're not feeling that way, it's real. There's a lot of us feeling the same. Okay. What are you going to do about it? Well, let me help you. All right. Because when I implemented these wellness activities of mine last year, I said I had a transformation. It was more like I had an activation, right? I had evoked this new energy, new sense of assurance for myself, a new sense of confidence. I started with self-compassion, and I had to forgive myself. So I went through this whole routine that I created for myself. And so one of those steps was definitely meditation. Okay. You probably heard about this. I know. You're like, I can't meditate. I can't stay still long enough. Right? Well, there lies the problem. Okay. Right there. So I couldn't either. Okay. I had so much going on in my head. And then you can times that by 100 when you are hurt. Okay. When you are emotionally stressed out and you feel completely crushed by that incident that I went through, sure, you can't sit still. But I dug in, and I started with just a minute. Okay. So I started my day in bed without even opening my eyes yet. Okay. I took time to, you either call it positive affirmations, or you could state a sentence that states your intention for the day. Well, that was my meditation. Okay, I've built up to a much longer practice now because again, I did it one day at a time. And I started with the moment that I was conscious and waking up, but my eyes were still closed. Okay, so go ahead and try that, right? You're dealing with your life. I get it. It's stressful. And maybe you had a sudden change. Maybe you haven't, maybe you're an empty nester. Maybe you're dealing with things with your marriage or your relationship. And the only time that I found that I had that was still mine was those first few minutes of my morning. And by doing that, making a commitment to stating a positive intention, and I did the same intention every day. Okay? And that intention was, the statement was, everything's working out for me. Okay? Everything's working out for me. I breathe in, I breathe out, and I'll say it again, either subconsciously or if I were just by myself in bed, I'd say it out loud. Everything's working out for me. Okay? And that was my meditation. And then I built to a practice where I actually sat up and I meditated with some very positive guidance in statements that I would make. But I wanted you to just take away one easy thing. Like, you can do that, okay? If you're like me, I like just, easy hacks that I want to just do right away. I want to implement it. You can do it right now if you're on lunch break, or if you're, right after dinner and you have some time in the bathroom and you close your eyes and you say to yourself, everything's working out for me. Yeah, everything comes my way. Everything goes my way. And just repeat that over and over and consistently do that every day. And that's going to be one of your steps in your routine. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to place my wellness guide here. Let me look for it. Here it is. My wellness guide in the comments, and I want you to sort of check it out. Here. I hope that works there. And go ahead and check that out. Fill out the information that you need to get access to it. You can also find me in my Facebook group, Essential Wellness and Abundance, where I am featuring and inviting everybody in my group to join my program. It's called the Radiant Women Rising Program. Okay, it's an 8-week mentorship with me, and I have lessons and a course that I run every week. I have 2 coaching calls, group coaching calls with you. That's 16 calls. And I just run that through, and you can go ahead and find that information. I won't go over it too much here, but reach out to me. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Give me a comment, just an emoji, a thumbs up, a heart. If you think that this kind of wellness tip is going to be helpful for you, I hope you do it. I hope you realize that I understand that we are stressed. I understand that we are taking on a lot. And it wears, on our self-confidence. It wears on our feeling valued, and our worthiness, and our feeling of being deserving of the success that we have today, as well as what's in store. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think about the live, if the information was helpful, if you were able to envision a life where you felt completely understood and cherished. And with that meditation practice, you can envision it. You can devise that life, what it looks like, what it feels like, it tastes like, it smells like. And join me in my Facebook group too to find out more. Thanks so much.